January 17th, 2017, one of the biggest social media platforms to ever exist, Vine, shut down forever. But as it was around for almost 4 years, some people had managed to build their entire careers and gain tens of millions of followers all from this app on their phone. But after all that progress got deleted, what did they do next? In this video, we're going to be taking a look at the top 10 most followed people on Vine and what they're doing now, 5 years on from this major event in their lives. So at number 10, we have Josh Peck, and unlike most of the creators on this list, Josh Peck started to become a celebrity way before Vine was around, as he was a child actor in the late 1990s and early 2000s, and although he had some roles in other shows, it was when he was casted as Josh Nichols in the Nickelodeon show, Drake and Josh, that he started to see success. And although he did go on to act in different movies and TV shows like Ice Age and How I Met Your Father, thanks to David Dobrik and the people that loved the show, he is most known for his character on Drake and Josh. But this actually helped him when it came to building a following on social media, as the age of people that watched his show lined up with the age of people that used Vine, and he was able to quickly gain millions of followers, and in fact had 9.1 million followers on Vine when it eventually shut down. So what's he doing now? Well, he's still acting, with his most recent roles being in 13 the Musical, How I Met Your Father, and Ice Age Adventures of Buck Wild. He has 3.5 million subscribers on a YouTube channel that he's recently started to upload to again, 8 million followers on TikTok, and 15 million followers on Instagram, and it seems that his career is doing better than ever. Joey Purpdrank was one of the many people on this list that I'd never heard of before researching for this video, but well, to be honest, that doesn't really matter. Anyway, he posted his first video on Vine in March 2013 and was known for his comedy videos, and was very well known as he managed to amass a total of 9.3 million followers before Vine closed its doors forever. But as Vine was closing, Jerry was still doing an array of different things, and even acted in a movie called Get the Girl. But recently, stuff has been quiet on Jerry's social media, as he only really posts stuff on Instagram and TikTok. He has 260,000 subscribers on YouTube, but hasn't posted since 2019. He has 5.6 million followers on Facebook, but hasn't posted since 2020. And he has 20,000 monthly listeners, despite the fact that he hasn't uploaded any new music in over 3 years. Next up is someone I think everyone who's been on the internet in the past 10 years will know. Logan Paul. Logan first started to appear on people's phones back in 2013 when he started to post videos on Vine and quickly gained millions of followers. But after Vine eventually came to an end, Logan Paul went through a stage of being the most hated creator on YouTube and probably social media as a whole. In the beginning, it was mostly because of his over-the-top, obnoxious personality he was displaying in his videos, with him constantly screaming and doing things that could only be described as childish, but this is nothing compared to what he did next. Logan Paul posted the horrific Japan forest video on the 31st of December 2017, and it almost single-handedly ended his career. After one of the worst apologies in YouTube history, Logan came back to YouTube with a beard and an entirely new personality, and people slowly forgave Logan Paul as he was genuinely grown up and acted a lot more mature. But this was definitely slow, as it took a lot of time for people to forgive him for the stuff he had done. And if we fast forward to now and look back at his career from 2019 to 2022, we'll see a completely different person. Logan Paul has started the Pokemon card craze, PSA 10, gained 23 million subscribers on YouTube, boxed Floyd Mayweather, started a drinks company with his former rival, wrestled in the WWE, and much more. Now for another person I didn't know, Cutis Lepore. Before joining Vine, Cutis was in a band that he helped found called Ghost X Ship. He was in it from 2009 until 2012 when he decided to leave. After this, he started to upload videos to Vine and gained a couple million followers, which is where the story takes a very dark turn. And to avoid saying any of this wrong, I'm just going to read from something I found. In October 2013, Lepore was alleged to have R-worded his then girlfriend Jessie Vasquez. The incident occurred when Vasquez was in Los Angeles recovering from a concussion. Vasquez stated that Lepore came over to help while she was recovering, and once asleep, Lepore R-worded her. Charges were filed in January of 2014. Lepore, who pled not guilty to the charges, was released on a $100,000 bail. In February 2014, Lepore took a plea deal in the case. The R-word charges were dropped and he pled guilty to felony assault. In February 2015, Lepore's felony assault charges were reduced to a misdemeanor. Since Vine's inevitable closure, Cutis really hasn't done anything huge on social media, and from the middle of 2020 onwards, he has completely stopped uploading on YouTube and is only really active on Instagram, TikTok and Twitter. And if you take a look at his bio on TikTok and Twitter, you can see a link to an NFT. I don't know if he's being paid or just really likes his NFT, so I can't really say much about it, so I'll just let you guys make up your own opinion. Cameron Dallas started his social media career on Vine with comedy and prank videos, and because of the success he had achieved, he quickly started to expand the things he was doing. In 2014, he starred in the movie Expelled, and I actually watched this movie like 4 or 5 years ago, and to be honest, I thought it was actually good, and I had no idea who Cameron Dallas even was. And all this fame didn't come without some mistakes, and a YouTuber called Riveted actually made a video covering all these events.
The police were called again later that evening after a woman had nearly been struck by a paint can that had been thrown out of the window of Dallas's 6th floor apartment. When police arrived the second time, they found someone had gotten sick in the hallway and knocked on the door to find Dallas covered in paint, along with every surface in the apartment and everyone in it. Oops. Dallas was arrested for felony vandalism and released on $20,000 bail. According to the Aspen Police Department, Dallas was arrested in Aspen on a second-degree assault charge, which is a felony. He posted a $5,000 bond and was released. Police said they responded to the Hyatt Residence's Grand Aspen Hotel at 5:10 a.m. Officers discovered a man bleeding from injuries to his face. The man told police he had been assaulted, and they later arrested Dallas, who was also staying at the hotel. The next day, Cameron tweeted his mugshot and claimed that the incident was self-defense. Many people were not really bothered.
Cameron continued to act in the occasional TV show and even released his first single, She Bad, before the app that started his career was taken down. Just a couple years after that, on the 23rd of August 2019, Cameron posted a video explaining that he'd been suffering with addiction and poor mental health. And throughout this video, he apologizes to some of the people that he had affected during this period of his life and explained that he had gone to rehab. Cameron Dallas now has 14.6 million followers on Twitter, 5 million subscribers on YouTube, 132,000 monthly listeners on Spotify, 24 million followers on Instagram, and has recently started a business which is a subscription-based service similar to Patreon but for creators. Brittany Furlan started her career on Vine, and as she quickly gained millions of followers, she was actually the #1 most followed female Viner until 2015. And although she started to get into acting, it wasn't until after Vine eventually fell into the bin and she lost her 9.9 million followers that her acting career started to pick up. From 2018 onwards, she's acted in 8 different movies, but as her fame slowly faded, so did her acting career. Brittany isn't doing much on social media anymore, and as her podcast ended over a year ago, you can only really see her with the occasional Instagram or TikTok post. Rudy Mancuso, once again, never heard of him, but he made comedy skits on Vine and YouTube and built up a huge audience as he managed to get huge celebrities to appear on his videos. With names like Justin Bieber and Mike Tyson, his YouTube videos did amazing, with most of them getting well over 1 million views, and he used this success to start his music career. It seems like after Vine, most of these people just act in bad movies or start music careers. But he was actually quite talented, especially on the piano, and he made 8 singles from 2017 to 2019 and released an album in 2020, but it's the last bit of music that we've seen from him, and this would eventually happen to most of his social media accounts. His TikTok, YouTube and Spotify all lay dormant and have been for over 2 years, and now you can only really see what he's doing on his Instagram account, as he still posts around once a month to his 13 million followers. And starting with the top 3, we have Lele Pons. Like most of the people on this list, she started her career on Vine, and said herself that at first it was just being really creative, it wasn't even funny stuff. And many people would agree with that, but that doesn't change the fact that she was the 3rd most followed person on Vine with 11.5 million followers when the app eventually got deleted. But what did she do outside of her Vine career? Well, she started to post comedy sketches on her YouTube channel, has acted in multiple different movies and TV shows, and has recently started a podcast called Best Kept Secrets. But her music is probably the most successful thing she's done since Vine. She released her first song, Celesso, back in 2018, and it now has over 360 million views on YouTube and went 10x diamond. And after this, the success carried on, as she now has multiple songs with over 100 million views and currently has over 3 million monthly listeners on Spotify. She now has 17.7 million followers on YouTube, 28.7 million followers on TikTok, 50 million followers on Instagram, and posts a mixture of dance videos and comedy skits on TikTok and mainly music videos on YouTube, but rarely uploads anymore. Nash Grier started making videos in early 2013 and quickly started to gain thousands of followers with his comedy videos. He then joined a group of fellow creators called Magcon and quickly became the 2nd most followed creator on Vine with a total of 12.8 million followers before the platform closed forever. I recently got a printer. And after this, he didn't do anything huge online, but still consistently made content on different platforms for about 4 years, and now has 4.5 million subscribers on YouTube, 980,000 followers on TikTok, 12.9 million followers on Instagram and describes himself in his Instagram bio as part-time video creator and full-time dad. He seems really happy and posts mainly family videos on YouTube and TikTok, but has recently taken a step back from creating content to focus on what I can only assume is living his life with his family. And finally, King Bach, who was introduced to Vine by Brittany Furlan and posted his first video on the 19th of April 2013. And just 2 years later, in March 2015, his comedy videos allowed him to take over as the most followed creator on Vine and had 16.2 million followers before Vine was given up on. And I said given up on because I've used 10 different ways already of saying that Vine is shut down. And before that, when he was still on Vine, he started his acting career and first received recognition for the role he played on the show Black Jesus, and then went on to feature in a bunch of movies and TV shows like When We First Met, Meet the Blacks, Greenland, and the more recent movie, The Babysitter. He now has 2.6 million subscribers on YouTube and mainly makes comedy sketches, and has managed to amass 27 million followers on TikTok with shorter, mainly comedy sketch videos. So I hope you enjoyed and learned something. If you did, please like and subscribe, because one day I want to high five The Rock.